Okay, this could be a complete and total fabrication, but in my own mind. But I was trying to think about the night when I was drinking. I had one drink, and it was at 9:30, or I was done with it at 9:30, something like that. And maybe it was 11 o'clock when I was stopped by this cop. I don't remember. I guess, and it's funny because I didn't get a ticket. I wasn't, arrested. I'm trying to remember if they put me through the test. It's possible he looked into my eyes and my eyes looked so clear, and I was obviously so straight and, grounded, self-aware, and with it, that he just didn't bother, and I didn't have anything on my breath, that he just didn't bother, and he just let me go. That's scenario one. Scenario two is he did ask me to come out and do the test, and maybe I did do the test, and maybe I did really well on the first test, because I almost think I have a memory of that. Now, I could be completely making that up. It's very possible, because I cannot remember. Now, the guy who pulled me over, he would remember, or maybe he wrote it down. Maybe it's in the records. I don't know. It's not something I care about anymore. People care about it. The Southern Stalker cares about it for some. The Tower of Pizzo made a colossal big deal out of it. Peggy is looking into my records, trying to make a big deal out of my driving records, which that all I could see included that I didn't show my insurance card, a couple times. And years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't know why she cares. It's so odd to me. I think they're just trying to pick a fight because they want to pick a fight. And they're just trying to create divisiveness. If they try to be your friend and you don't bite, then they go and fight with you and become your enemy and try to get your illusion, your energy, and your attention that way. It's either pretend to be your friend, which is what Martin did with me and with Leanie. What he does is he goes around acting so cuddly-wuddly. All these women, notably American women as well as British women, but American women, give him their heart to a certain degree, and their friendship and their trust, and they tell him stuff they may not ever tell anybody else. And then he takes that and uses it against that woman later. That's what he does. He also is attacking people he once liked. Just flat out attacking. Now those people may have attacked him. He's attacked me, and now I'm attacking him. He wants this back and forth. But I just wonder if I got out of the car, and why didn't I film it? Because I should have. Why did I turn off the camera? Because I would have normally kept it on. So I just don't remember now. Isn't that funny? I mean, it's possible I got out of the car and did the first test. I almost feel like I remember this, and I always kind of wanted to almost do that test and wondered what it was like when you hold your arms out or something and you put one foot in front of the other. Now, I do have arthritis, and sometimes I'm fine, and sometimes it gets triggered and I'll have a limp and I'm off balance, and I cannot do that. I cannot hold up. I could not do that balancing act like walking on a line. I can do it sometimes. And when I can, I'll film it to show myself and to remind myself, and then to show anybody else who wants to watch it that I could be balanced at times. But I used to have a limp that was terrible, absolutely awful. And it was affecting my life. And sometimes I had good days, and then I thought, I'm cured. But then it would come back, and I couldn't figure out why it kept coming back. It was really frustrating, and it was on and on and on. And sometimes it would be absolutely terrible. There was no rhyme or reason to it. I did figure out some things, like food coloring would trigger it really badly. Wheat, any kind of processed food. And so I got better, because also I stopped drinking the city water wherever I lived at. And that was huge. That was a big help. I also started putting a pinch of baking soda in everything I drank, which operated as an anti-inflammatory and a a detoxifier. So then I'm just gently cleansing my body every single time I have a cup of coffee or watered down juice or whatever I drink, because I have that extra baking soda in there, which is gently cleansing, and it's alkalizing. So that helps you fight cancer, and that helps you fight getting yeast infections, and it just helps overall, and it also detoxes you. So anyway, I was just saying, and I've got some upcoming issues. I've got these teeth that got to get removed. I've got a mole that turned black, is turning black and shrinking, and it might fall off on its own, but it's still very irritated around, and I had a Band-Aid on it, and I had hydrogen peroxide on it, which I think the hydrogen peroxide was fine, but the Band-Aid, I left it on too long because it really stuck to my skin, and I left it on too long, and then it irritated my skin and the mole that it was covering, which is sort of like this. It's not your typical mole. It's kind of like a weird little huge skin tag type thing. I don't know. I've been wanting to get it removed for a while, and I just, don't really notice it that much. But then it got really, now it's like all I can think about. And so I need to deal with that, make sure I don't have skin cancer, make sure, it's okay. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And then the two teeth, that's a big deal, to have two teeth removed that are a huge part of my chewing ability. So my chewing is going to change. Then I got to deal with replacing those with some kind of mouthpiece, I'm not going to do implants, because I just watched this video of this woman who had all these implants, and she was allergic to the metals in the implants, and her face got destroyed. Her nose is destroyed, and she's was a beautiful woman, and her face is all messed up, and she has to get all these implants out, and she's just a mess. So I'm definitely not doing implants, even though, I can see why they would be appealing, but I bite so hard. I have such a tense jaw, and I haven't figured out, until I figure out how to relax my jaw, I tend to clench. So no, I would just bite too hard on the implants. So in a way, it's better for me to take something out. I guess I'm going to have dentures. I finally have graduated to old age with dentures. But, yeah, what are you going to do? I got to get these. Now I'm finally ready to get these teeth out. I think I'm tired of worry. I'm tired of the pain when I chew on them, on one of them, and then the other one is a problem. So it's, it's going to change maybe the way I talk for a while. Look what Leanie's going through. It's a big deal to lose your teeth. It's a very big deal. And then again, it's not the end of the world, and it's almost better to get the teeth out than to have an infection, or to have heavy metals and toxins and poisons and mercury and weird crap from China in your teeth that you're biting and swallowing. No, it's much better to get the teeth, just get them out. You'll be healthier. Even though you have to deal with the fact that you have no teeth, you have to figure out how to, have teeth. And chew, but you can chew without teeth. I know a guy with absolutely no teeth, very good looking man. You would never even notice that he had no teeth. I don't know if he hides it with a beard, but he's just a good looking guy. He's got beautiful, cute Santa Claus eyes, blue sparkly eyes. He's just a sweetheart of a guy. And he doesn't have any teeth, and I would not have even known it. He eats everything and anything. He figured out how to eat. And he can eat without teeth, and you can do it with your gums. And, it's almost better to get those teeth out, is what I learned. It's hard to lose a tooth. I held onto a tooth for a very long time. First I had a root canal. Then I don't know, they took the top off, and I was able to keep the root and like a sort of a stump there for a while, pretty long time. And I got away with that for as long as I could. And then finally they had to take it out. I was so upset about that. It was very hard. I was squirming out of my mind. Finally, I forced myself to relax. But it was, I could not handle the fact that they were going to pull a tooth out of my mouth. I have deep, like probably most people, deep rooted anxiety and angst and PTSD around teeth issues. And I'm definitely not alone. And putting a hole in your mouth is a big deal. And I will definitely go through a huge emotional breakdown when they remove these teeth. And it'll be a big grieving process, but I'll probably feel a lot better in the end. And then I have to worry about that the dentures don't have more toxins. You know, and I want to get gold, but I don't think you can really get gold, not real gold. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I just want to make a little video thinking about the car driving scene because, you know, obviously I wasn't drunk. And I probably didn't even finish that drink because I'm such a lightweight. I can't even hardly drink. I can barely drink half a drink unless I have to be really angry and upset for me to be able to process alcohol properly. And I'm only going to order a cranberry and vodka with a wedge of lemon and a dash of ginger ale because I just can't. I don't like beer. I don't really like wine. It triggers my asthma. And I can't drink Kahlua because it makes me sneeze. I'm half Russian, so vodka makes sense, but I just don't drink anymore. I just quit. So all this chatter from these complete idiots who have nothing better to do than to try to make me look bad because they feel bad about themselves. You know, that it's just nonsense. And who cares? Like, why? The fact that you care about what I do in the first place, what I do today, yesterday, or 10 years ago, is absolutely weird. And there's a reason that you're doing that, and I don't think it's because you're normal. And I also think it's either you're paid or there's something wrong with you. So I will be doing an expose on Martoon the cartoon because he's looking for attention and he needs some attention and he's whining and crying and moaning and groaning and throwing tantrums. So I'm going to give him some attention. And I will be back with his attention. Okay. That's all for now. I'm going to try to wait for 48 seconds. Love you so much. Thanks for being here for me. Thanks for subbing and liking. And don't forget to keep objecting to bullshit, baby. You're awesome. Love you.